everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name's Katie and I make book related videos every single Wednesday. And can I just say, I left work today at like 5 p.m. as I normally do, stepped outside and it was pitch black and I just stood there dumbfounded, which is idiotic because the same thing happens every single year, yet I'm always surprised. So at the time I'm filming this, it is pitch black outside, obviously, so please let me know if the lighting's okay. But today, first I'm gonna go over my new bookshelf and just talk about this really quickly, and then I will get into the November Book of the Month unboxing. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys will know I had a lot of trouble deciding between this and this other bookshelf that I tweeted. Most of you guys actually ended up saying I should get the other bookshelf because it looked more sturdy, which I do agree about. However, what turned me on to this one was simply the fact that I'm getting a new couch and I'm positive which one I'm getting, and it just wouldn't look good with that bookshelf. So very vapid reasoning, if I'm honest, but I built it and I'm really happy with the way it looks and how sturdy it is. There were just a few reviews that said it was flimsy, but granted, you do have to build it yourself, so it's possible there's some user error in there. But I wanted to review this one briefly just because this is the main, I feel like, mid-century modern cheap bookshelf online, so I have a feeling this might be kind of a popular one to buy. So overall, I would say, am I happy with it? Yes. Do I think it was worth the price? No. I've noticed, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on this, I feel like my generation were very obsessed with buying cheap IKEA style build your own furniture, when in reality, if I had just gone to, say, maybe a bunch of really cheap antique shops, I could have picked up something that was half the price of this. If you're curious, this was a little over, I thought I heard something in my apartment. This was a little over $100 since I got it on sale and then I had a discount. But I feel like a lot of people don't realize that you can go to a really cheap antique store, not one of those frou-frou ones, a cheap one, and find something that's actually real wood, unlike this, that you don't have to build yourself for half the price. The trade-off is, of course, do you want to go to a bunch of antique stores trying to find the exact style of bookshelf you're looking for? So that's kind of the trade-off there. I'm happy with it because it's exactly the style and look and size of one that I wanted. But the quality isn't very good, and I just feel like you'd be better off getting something at an antique shop. So getting into the unboxing, I'm gonna skip this one that's in the box here and just dive into the book that I see on top because this is one I've been very anxious to get. So this book is Bonfire by Kristen Ritter, which, fun fact, I used to be the assistant director for a research team and I would always have trivia that I would say at the beginning, and not surprisingly, a lot of the trivia had to do with Halloween and just, you know, horror related things. The word bonfire comes when in the olden days they would throw bones into fires. Anyway, so this is a book by Kristen Ritter, if that sounds familiar. You know, Jessica Jones, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. So she has written a book, and this tells the tale of a successful environmental lawyer in Chicago named Abby, who returns to her small town that she fled 10 years ago in order to investigate the big employer who lives there. And she sees one of her former best friends who had kind of a Heather-esque type clique. As you guys have been able to tell from my past few videos, I haven't been reading a lot, and side conversation right here. Feel free to fast forward to the other books. But I have just not been, if we're being honest here, I haven't been in a very good mood the past month or so. I've just felt kind of down and off. And for me, I read when I'm in a good mood. When I'm in a bad mood, I watch trashy reality television like Before the 90 Days, which I'm only in episode 6, don't spoil it. But anyway, this seems fast-paced and fun, and I've been just really excited and anxious to check this out, so I'll probably go ahead and read this first. The next book we have is The Rules of Magic, and I always go ahead and, just as FYI, if I'm looking off to the side, whenever I do unboxings, I Google little summaries of what the books are about because I don't want to just be saying the title. And I squealed when I realized, because I thought Alice Hoffman sounded a little bit familiar, but this is a prequel to Practical Magic. Practical Magic is probably my favorite Halloween movie. It's up there with Sleepy Hollow, but those two are definitely my favorite. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have any idea that, I guess, Practical Magic was a book. I had no idea. So if you guys have read it, please let me know. Do you think I have to read Practical Magic first? Do you think I can dive into this since it is a prequel? I'm not sure, but I squealed when I saw this. I'm so excited. The next book we have is actually by another celebrity author, and that is Tom Hanks. This is Uncommon Type, which is 17 short stories, and I'll have to admit I read a summary of this twice and still had a difficult time understanding what it's about. But it's 17 short stories, and somehow vintage typewriters are involved in all of them, so not really clear. I'm gonna look into this one a little bit more before I decide to read it. And then we have Artemis by Andy Weir, which I had a little moment because Andy Weir is the author of The Martian, but But which figure skater am I thinking of? Because that was the name that came to mind when I read this. So Andy Weir is not a figure skater, he is the author of The Martian. And in Artemis, Artemis is the name of a fully functioning city with thousands of inhabitants dwelling in 5 interconnected glass bubbles. So it says that this is a fun ride with a lot of action and very high stakes, and our hero is a resourceful young smuggler named Jazz who finds herself caught up in an epic battle of that was the wine, who finds herself caught up in an epic battle for control of the city. I never read The Martian. For some reason, I have zero desire to read the book. I'm much more intrigued by this than I am by the book The Martian, so I'm really excited to have this. And here we have Future Home of the Living God, and this is a dystopian thriller that paints a startling portrait of a young woman fighting for her life and her unborn child. My first thought when I was reading this was, what was the book that I read where the woman was pregnant that I loved? She was blindfolded. It was, but anyway, that part reminds me of that. And it says, science cannot stop the world from running backwards as a woman after a woman gives birth to infants that appear to be primitive species of humans. So really interesting, strange concept. And I just noticed in the background, you got a little fetus in a womb there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm probably gonna check out, ooh, I can't decide. I actually really cannot decide between these 4 books. Sorry, Tom Hanks, but these are the 4 I'm really interested in. So please let me know which one of these you guys are really excited for me to read and review. That might kind of shove me outside of the little rut I'm in terms of reading. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.